The printing of Jeweled Lotus is perhaps one of the most controversial things to ever happen in Commander. What I'm here to tell you is that it may be the best thing that has happened to Commander in years. Since the printing of partners back in 2016, cEDH has struggled with the dynamic that commanders aren't really necessary for the Commander format. Despite having new, exciting, and powerful options printed every single year, we have been stuck with the same partners over and over and over again, and without reasons to be playing commanders that actually have an impact. Decks that rely on their commanders are inherently weaker when it comes to the partner meta because there are ways to disrupt it. And this problem has continued even through to Ikoria, which Drannith Magistrate was just another nail in the coffin for decks that relied on their commander. However, there is now a balance. You see, what Jeweled Amulet does is it tips the scales back in the favor of commander-reliant decks. When you have a Black Lotus effect to accelerate out your commander in a game, decks that rely on their commander, decks like Najeela, Urza, Elsha, these decks all get a huge boost from this card. I mean, one of my personal decks, Winota, is absolutely in love with this card because it allows for a turn 2 Winota very easily after dumping your hand turn 1. So these decks that have the inherent reliance on their commander are now getting a boost, which I think is a great thing for our format. One of the things that makes Commander so unique is our access to our commander. It is one of the driving factors of this format. People like building around their commanders, and now we have incentive to continue to do that. Jeweled Lotus may be one of the best things to happen to the Commander format because it pushes the scales back into balance. It allows commander-focused decks to once again be very competitive at the cEDH tables. No longer is Timna Thrasios going to have just pure inherent advantage. It now will have the disadvantage of not being able to utilize and abuse Jeweled Lotus. So Jeweled Lotus may actually be very, very good for the cEDH format. Now, when I first saw the card, I was absolutely terrified. I thought that it was going to absolutely overthrow Commander as we know it, but it may do so in the right way. Yes, Jeweled Lotus is going to have issues with limited print run and the fact that it is a mythic and probably the most in-demand card in this entire set. That's going to be a problem with this card. However, the overall impact from a non-financial standpoint for cEDH, I think will be a really good one. Commander diversity is extremely important to our format. It allows for interesting games, unique pods, different play situations. It means that we're not seeing the same strategies in the same decks over and over again. And because of that, I think Jeweled Lotus is a strict boon. It increases the range of commanders we can see in this format. It increases the ability for certain commanders to be pushed to the most competitive level as possible. It allows for decks to compete with the partner metagame. I really did think this card was a problem when I first saw it, but after talking to people I respect, I think this actually may be one of the best things to happen to Commander. So thanks, Watsy. Thanks for Jeweled Lotus.